Hello Year 10. We're going to look at some direct proportion questions this week. So, first of all, I have given you questions in the exercise called 1.6 direct proportion, which say things like, how much do 6 chocolate bars cost if 2 chocolate bars cost £1.20? So, if I had 2 chocolate bars, £1.20, or to get 6 chocolate bars, I'd need another 2 chocolate bars, and then another 2 chocolate bars. So I've got 3 lots of 2 chocolate bars. So I've got 3 lots of £1.20. If I work that out, that's £3.60. But we might not always be able to multiply like we did in this question. We might not be able to say, well, I've got 2 chocolate bars, 2 chocolate bars, 2 chocolate bars. If I, for instance, want to make flapjacks for 3 people, I know that takes 150 grams of flour, and then I decide actually I want to make it for 5 people. I can't double that or triple 3 people to get to 5 people. Instead, I'm going to find out how much I need for 1 person first. So I'm going to say 3, I'm going to write people on this side actually, so I know I'm talking about people. 3 people would need 150 grams of flour. Well then, how much would I need for 1 person? Well, I've divided the number of people I had by 3, so I'm going to need 3 times less flour. And 150 divided by 3 gives me 50 grams. And now, what I actually want to know is how much I need for 5 people. So to get from 1 person to 5 people, I need to multiply by 5. So I'm going to take 50 grams of flour, which is what I need for 1 person, and times that by 5 to get 250 grams. And that's my answer. Now you might find it useful to stop the video now and go and answer the questions from that first exercise, which is called 1.6 direct proportion. Once you've answered those questions, come back to the video and you can have a go at some of the questions from 7.3. So the second exercise, which I've called 7.3 direct proportion, starts off with some graphs of things which may or may not be in direct proportion. So some of our graphs look something like this. So a nice straight line that goes through 0, 0, goes through the origin. And that is what a graph of something in direct proportion should look like. So the important features are, it goes through 0, it's a straight line. And that means, what direct proportion means is if I have, say I had twice as many people in my last example, then I'd need twice as much flour. If I had half as many people, I'd need half as much flour. And this straight line through 0, that tells me I'm in that sort of situation. So if I had twice as many people here, I'd have twice as much flour. Or sometimes you might see there's a straight line that goes through a different point, like this. That is not direct proportion, because if I doubled the number of people, I wouldn't double the amount of flour or the amount of money that I'd spent. So a direct proportion graph will always go through 0, and also it won't be curved. So anything like this, that's not direct proportion either. So have a look at some of those questions with graphs. Some of them you'll need to read off some values. So you might need to sort of dot up with a ruler and a pencil, and then dot across to find out which values correspond. So how much does it cost for a certain amount of sweets, or how many people would you be able to give a certain amount of flapjacks to? And then the last questions, and you may want to take another break here from the video before you look at the video for the last questions. So that's anything from question 8 onwards. Now those last questions look something like this. So they're not direct proportion anymore. They are something called inverse proportion. So what's the difference, I hear you ask? Well, in the previous examples with direct proportion, if I'm looking at how much flour I need for my flapjacks, if I have twice as many people, I need twice as much flour. Is that the case here? Well, it takes 3 people 10 days to fix a road. If I had less people, it wouldn't take less time. Less people would take longer to repair the road. So these questions, question 8, 9, 10, 11, they're all, question 8, 9, 10 actually, they're all questions where it takes, where one thing goes up as the other one goes down. So one way you can look at these questions is you can write a ratio again. You can say 3 people would take 10 days to fix the road. I want to know, first of all, how long it would take one person. So to get from 3 to 1, I've divided by 3. But I know it won't take less time to fix the road. It's going to take more time. If I have a third as many people, it's going to take 3 times longer to fix the road. So I think this is actually going to be 30 days for one person. That's not what I want, is it? I want 2 people. So to get from one person to 2 people, I've multiplied by 2, but it's not going to take longer for 2 people to fix the road than it is for one. It's going to take less time. So again, I'm going to do the opposite. Instead of timesing by 2, I'm going to divide by 2. So 30 divided by 2 gives me 15 days. Now be really careful. This is only relevant to the last few questions of exercise 7.3. All the other questions you need to answer like in the previous examples I've given you in this video. This last example only works for those last questions, where as one thing increases, the other decreases. So good luck and send me any questions you have.